Hey everyone, this is your host, Mahaya Boicel. Join us as we discuss the mind behind the music. Today, I have a very special guest.
Hey, how's it going, Mahaya?
I didn't introduce you yet. She's so excited. Hey everyone, this is your host, Mahaya Boicel. Join us as we discuss the mind behind the music. Today, I have a very special guest, Gabby B. I am very happy to have you today, actually, Gabby, because it is March, and March is also the month that we celebrate women empowerment, women artists, women creators, anything that's about women. And I love that, although it should be every day.
Me too.
But yeah.
I know.
So I'm really happy to have you. And you're actually my
Yay.
first woman guest.
Yay!
So it's a privilege to have you.
That's great.
I was actually reading on, what you've done up to now. And at first I was like, okay, Gabby B, she's a new artist. Actually, you're quite an emerging artist. You've had the single Pose charted to top 5 on iTunes and overall South Africa.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this girl's been in Africa. Okay. You had the single Dance All Night charted 75 on the iTunes pop chart in Hong Kong. And you have millions of viewers. I follow you on social media. I love your energy.
Thank you.
You've had Belly Dancer, Pretty Girl Lit, Earthquake, and so many others. Your single Leche, which actually was featured on NBC Miami's South Florida Live and WSVN Fox Deco Drive. So that's amazing. Wow. You've done so much in such short little time as an artist.
Yeah.
So tell us more a little bit about who you are and where you're going.
So I'm Brazilian, so I love to show people more about my culture because I feel like many people don't know yet. And I love like pop, but I love incorporating cultural elements into the pop. I think a lot of people are starting to do that too. And I think it's a beautiful thing because people are starting to learn from each other's cultures and appreciate it and everything. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And that's what I would like to do with my songs and continue doing. I want to also tap into the Afrobeat vibe with French, that would be really cool. But yeah, things like that.
And you know 4 languages, which is amazing. It's not just Portuguese and English. You also have French and Spanish.
Yeah, I'm still working on Spanish. I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I can understand a good portion of it, depending on what country we're talking about. But yeah.
Good. Well, if this podcast would have been French, on aurait pu continuer en français.
C'est vrai. C'est vrai ça.
Tell me a bit about your experience here in the United States. How since you've started to develop your music and releasing your singles as well, how has been the experience as an artist and how has it been as a woman?
Well, we all have our good moments and our bad moments. It's always like a mountain going up and down all the time. But starting off in music was definitely like such a new thing for me. Like I wasn't expecting me to ever be a singer, like an actual professional singer, because in my brain, that was the hardest entertainment thing to do. Like in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of region that you can reach. You can act, you can draw, you can do a lot of different things. And I thought this was like the hardest one to get. So I didn't think it was possible until like I met my team and my family and they made it possible for me.
That's amazing. And I think there's something very special about someone being able to reach their passion and also, impacting other people and also doing it as a job.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's really great. And you're really in that, you're really you're going towards your full potential. And also, I believe do you feel that you're going towards your destiny? Like this is your destined to do that?
I do. Yeah. I love performing, not only just singing, but singing and dancing is just what what I do. I love it so much. It's great.
So you're born in Brazil. And since when have you been here in Miami?
So I was born in Brazil. I was raised in France. I lived in Canada,
Like me.
Montreal. Yeah.
Nice.
I also lived in Massachusetts. Then I lived in Massachusetts. I also lived in South Carolina at some point. But after Massachusetts, that's when I moved to Florida. And then that's where I got like everything started.
Oh, that's
But the
amazing.
special story about like I moved around a lot because of my dad's
Mm-hmm.
profession, Brazilian martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
capoeira. But the reason why I moved out of Massachusetts was more because I was getting really severely bullied in school.
Wow.
And I ended up going homeschooling, and it was just like awful. There's nothing to do in the small
Yeah.
city
Mm-hmm.
that I was in, and I just had like a really bad reputation, and just a lot of bullying
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
so it was like it was becoming super depressive for me, and we really needed to get out of there. So my parents just like it was literally like the month of my birthday, and they were
Yeah.
like, okay, let's move, because my parents, like, moving for them is just like, let's just pack up and go. So that's what we did. We thought, okay, where should we go, Florida or California? That was like
Mm-hmm.
our option, and then we picked Florida. And I like looked at the names of the city. I wanted something like in the South Florida area, and then that's where we went. And I mean, I went once we got to Florida, I moved probably like 5 times. Um,
So you pretty much
but yeah,
traveled a lot. You've discovered a lot of different
yes,
places. And I think that, do you find that also contributed to, your culture and the fact
yes,
like you're
a lot.
saying, I really want to be able to bring that diversity, of, your Brazilian side and
Yeah,
bring it to, or have it actually, you want to bring that diversity through your music, through your performance,
yeah,
wherever you go,
yeah.
from, and also from the liking of different types. Because I understand that Brazil is not just one type of song. You have, the
Oh, so
African
many.
heritage, you have the whole
Oh,
Latin
so many,
side
so
and the
many.
Spanish side. Well, so and a lot, it's funny to say, but there's a lot of people that don't know that there are different, there are Black Brazilians, there are white Brazilians, like there are different diversity, just like
I have
in,
cousins who are Japanese Brazilians. They literally look nothing like me. They look Asian, like completely Asian. They don't even look Brazilian.
yeah,
But what is looking Brazilian? You could look Brazilian,
yeah,
everyone, you could look Asian and you can be Brazilian. It's
yeah.
like,
And
it's
it's crazy. And a
amazing.
lot of people don't know that there are so many
Yeah.
different, uh, I don't want to say color palette, but that's pretty much what it is. But
Yeah,
there
it's
is
pretty
a lot of
much.
background.
Yeah, no, we're like a bowl of
Yeah,
mixed rainbows.
yeah. I saw as well that your mother was also a singer.
Yes.
And how did that influence you in your career? Like now that you are
Hmm.
a singer, because you said that you imagine not even being a performer
Yeah,
or a singer,
cause
but now that you are doing it, and does this do you find that you have either you're closer to your mother or or is your mother living in your
mhm.
shoes now? Like how does that,
I
impact you
mean,
in
she
in,
helps me
in
out a
this?
lot. Like, obviously her dreams like changed before I started doing other things with her life, but she helps me out a lot with like sometimes like if I struggle with lyrics or stuff,
Mhm.
cuz I grew up watching her write a lot of lyrics, and to Portuguese songs, to like English songs,
Mhm.
even French songs. So like I learned, definitely, I already in my head already knew a lot of things about how to write songs and everything.
Mhm.
So I definitely got influenced a lot by that. And she always like we used to put percussions in her music, and yeah, so like, I love percussions myself. And, the way she also used to dress to perform as a samba
Mhm.
dancer was
Mhm.
always wearing some bras. And I would go with her and I would like help her put sparkles on her body. So like now that influences me to want to do the
Yeah.
same, because I think it's beautiful. And it's
So
like,
she wasn't able to follow her dream as an artist
Oh,
or
she
as a
was.
performer?
She was.
But she
She's
had
been
to
on the
change.
newspaper. She
Okay.
was on the
Okay.
radio. She did really good stuff in her days and stuff. But yeah, I mean, now she's just like more settled, you know.
Yeah.
I'm grown
And it's
and
great
she's
to
got
have
her
that
pets.
support. It's great to
Yeah.
have a support of a mother that understands the industry as well,
Yeah.
and that can give you good advice or, advice of things that maybe she's gone through,
Yes,
especially
for
back in the
sure.
days. It was
For sure.
a lot, like it was different, We're not as liberal as, we're more liberal than, before as well.
Yeah.
You've mentioned something that's really great because there's one of the things that I like to cover as well in this podcast. It's mental health in the industry of music and entertainment industry. You've mentioned that, you were bullied in the past and all that stuff. Is that something that, not necessarily, I could understand that it affects someone being bullied, but is this something that that maybe might want to drive you to do something else with that, or see how?
Well, I am involved in an organization called Buddha Bullying.
Nice.
Um with like a lot of other, actresses and different types of people are also in it. And basically what they do is they go to different schools, they talk about mental health, they talk about their personal stories. They're all victims of bullying, just like me. And we talk to kids. I've done that couple times already, and
That's
I'm planning to do
amazing.
more things with them. And I also have a book that is actually about like a kid's book about more of a kid style of like how I got bullied the first time I came to America as a
That's
foreigner.
amazing. What is the
Yeah.
name? What's the name of the book? If we want to look for
Gabby
it, or
Gabby B and her new school adventures. It's on Barnes and Noble.
okay,
Barnes and Nobles, Barnes and Noble.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
always
Barnes and
forget
Noble,
there's an S. Yeah, so it's on there, and we're doing like a Portuguese version too, for like the Brazil schools also. And I just think it's like amazing to be in this organization. Like they're nonprofit, so it's like what we really want to do is just change the world a little bit, like as much as we can, and bring awareness to because bullying is a serious like story. A lot of people think that it just happens in movies and people just have excuses. Oh, like that's just an excuse. No,
It's a
people
traumatic
actually kill
experience.
themselves
It's a
because
traumatic
of that.
experience. Yeah,
It's
it
really,
is.
really serious, and people gotta like respect one another. So
Yeah.
so I that's what I love to do. I also love to talk about that. Besides bringing happiness to other people with
Yeah,
my songs,
that's
I like
amazing.
to be a part of this
That's awesome.
organization.
So, talk to us about what's coming up. I know that you've just had a single release as well, a song called Licorice,
Yeah.
which you've made different videos I've seen online, which are amazing. And I don't even know how you do it. You have so much energy. You dance, you sing, you move, you have choreography as well. Sorry. And how's that going? And what's our next release, or maybe show performance?
Oh, it's going so great. I love Licorice just because it's just more traditional. It's like my first traditional back from home.
Sorry, I choked on my saliva. Go ahead.
It's more traditional to like back home, what we like to listen to, the Gen Z's more of the world. And the style of Brazilian funk. And I just mixed it up a little bit with English because I have a lot of fans that knows English more. So I wanted to like incorporate the English still in there, but make it more traditional to someone in Brazil who would listen to the song also. But showing like the Americans or the other people who, are from different cultures to understand, like to get to hear like what our vibe is. So I really, really like loved making that record. And there is another one following up to that, which is also like a funk with Portuguese and English. It's called Nothing to Me. And it's gonna be another vibe. It's about the girl just found out that the guy was cheating on her, or he was like just being not good for her, like toxic. And she realizes that, he really didn't mean anything to her because he was awful to her
She
the whole
realized her
time.
value.
She realized her value and she left, and he wants her back. But she's like, I'm good by myself and I know my worth, and I'm just going to be doing my
So
thing.
she finds her strength through this story.
Yeah, she
and
finds
through
her
this
strength.
experience and her value as well.
Yeah, she
And
realizes
that's
that
amazing.
everything he told her was a lie, and their whole relationship was a lie. So basically it's about that. And
That's amazing.
I love stories like that because
we need them, because it's something that everybody lives,
Yes.
as as young as much as older women too. And it's really the time where we really, whether they lied or didn't or whichever, we all have values that are important to us.
Of course.
And as we grow, that's when we started to really understand the values that are important, that are non-negotiables. And I think that sometimes it's through relationships then we discover them. So I'm sure that a lot of people will relate to your song. So tell me, Gabby, where can we find you?
On Instagram, TikTok at Gabby B _music, GABBYB _music. I also have a website, GabbyBmusic.com, and on YouTube at Gabby B Music.
And will you have any performance that you'll be doing soon across the United States or anywhere else?
Well, my next performance is actually a really special one. It's I'm doing the national anthem at the Bulls game.
Wow,
so I'm
girl.
so excited.
You go, girl.
I'm nervous, but I'm
that's
excited.
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. And more performances after that. I also have one in Miami Heat that I'm doing the national anthem. So I'm doing both NBA teams.
Congratulations.
So
That's
really
amazing.
fun.
That's amazing.
I'm excited.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm really excited. Thank you so much
Thank you so much
for coming here and to be on my show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is great.
No, I'm really excited, and I would love to have you again because I think we have so much more to discuss.
Yes, for
there's
sure.
so much to cover, and you're also a really great influence as well for younger ladies, that do want, or even younger artists that want to come into the industry.
Thank you.
One of the things I really admire from you is that you don't seem to care much about what people think, and you're really like, this is me.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
stubborn.
Me.
So
Let me be, and this is who I want to be, and this is who I love to be.
Yeah.
And I admire that a lot because
you.
in this world, there's so much judgment. There's so many criticism and people talking. As much as we do get also acclamation and we do get, people that do celebrate us, but the more we rise, the more we move forward, or we get criticized. And it's important to have that kind of confidence that you have in this industry.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much. All right, guys. So the mind behind the music with Gabby B. Find her on social media at Gabby B _music.
Yes.
In pretty much every platform.
Yes.
And you also have her website, but I honestly, just her social media, you'll definitely know everything that's going on and you can follow her. Thank you so much, Gabby. And
thank you.
One more thing, give me just a note to self, something that you tell yourself every day that our viewers can take and they can put on their sticky note as well.
Well, I always say, be you, do you, and wear whatever the hell you want.